Either.
And
Yeah.
then you start going, and I'm just like, you sneaky. I'm not going to finish that because we're still in the first half of the show.
But yeah, no, I knew I had to be because I had no motivation to go when you asked me. I was like, nope.
Because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and then Dave's like, we could play video games. I'm like, man,
yeah,
I'm trying to get on this. Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great. On her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V. It's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh, man. Yeah, you just... Okay, you know the DMV sloth?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy. You're listening to On the Rewind.
Welcome to On the Rewind, a bi-weekly Neon Blinds media production where nerds and geeks collide on the latest nostalgia and It's not October yet, we can't go you just gotta stay away from the goddamn fucking loot bugs. Alright. Okay.
That's my timestamp.
Yeah. Welcome to On the Rewind, a bi-weekly Neon Blinds media production where nerds, geeks collide on the latest and nostalgic topics. Airing on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM. Make sure you tune into our longer run of the show on your podcaster of choice. And what do you got for us today on the Rewind, Adam?
All right. So, we talked a little bit about it on our Christmas extravaganza episode, wherever you want to call it. Love doing that. But I started actually going to the gym, which at first I absolutely dreaded. The few times I had been there, I never really was like 100% into it. I don't know why. Now I absolutely love it. I'm having an awesome time every single time I'm going there. And I'm trying really not to not be like the dude that always talks about the gym. But yeah, besides that, I just want to talk about a few things where I saw at the gym. I started going January 2nd, which really sucked because I'd been paying for the subscription for a while. But to everyone else, it looks like I'm mixed in with the resolutioners. And that
you are.
I am. It's just I know how much of a meme that is to the gym community. Yeah. And how much it was funny. I actually was on a leg press machine, and like these two guys that like looked like pipe fitters or union guys are walking in, and one guy goes, effing New Year's resolutions, and walks into the change room like he's pissed right off. And I was like, no, I get you, man. I get you. But
because you're using his machine. That's when he wants to use when he gets in.
No, he was upset that he had to do a New Year's resolution of going to the gym. Yeah, no, it was definitely a guy that had been there once. I haven't seen him since. It is crazy though for going there for just under a week. Some guys that I've seen there every single time I go, that's kind of crazy. And it kind of brings me into my next point is there's this kid that gets in there, and like at first I was being a little toxic where I'm like, hey, I'm in my mind, I'm like, holy crap, look at this kid. Like he had like the emo haircut from like 2008 and all that, and he wore like baggy jeans, and he wore a hoodie, and I was just like, God damn, all right, man, like just like a little bit of gym gear. But then I've been there, and every single time he's there, he is on the stair climber, and he's on there for my entire workout, which is about, it ranges from an hour and a half to 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Okay.
There the entire time on the stair climber. And he's usually there when I get there, and he's usually still there when I'm leaving. And he is like, I've walked by his machine a few times, and I've like seen I think one time I saw like 102 floors. He stepped up. I was like, oh,
Yeah, the
and
thighs would
like,
be tight after that.
oh my god, this guy's, can I say bum? I'm gonna say bum. Must be like rock solid. Like, holy cow. Oh my god, yeah. So, and there's a few times where I've seen where he's like reset the machine. Cause then all of a sudden I'll walk by and like after being there an hour, he's only on 30 flights of stairs. And I'm like, he's had to reset it at one point.
He probably runs like a certain program and then runs it a second time.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, it's so crazy to see. So yeah, no, good on him. A lot of the people that had New Year's resolutions are leaving. And it kind of sucks because that leaves the gym bros, which are just brutal to deal with. They're all
Well,
just
you
they're
deal
pro-
with them. I just kind of self-consciously go around them and not make eye contact with anything.
Oh yeah, like I make eye contact with them and stuff, and I just kind of nod and stuff like that. But like, no, it's just their whole goal is you can see them like look, and then they see some girls, and I'm assuming they're all in high school or college or something, because like they'll look, they'll see the person, and then they'll like set up on machines that the girls can view them from, and then they're just going hard as can be, and it's one of those things that's like I'm just trying my hardest here to not be distracted so I can get through this. And
Yeah.
it's so distracting to watch this whole like feels like I'm watching National Geographic or something like that. Just
No,
going
but
on.
you got the Aussie guy. He's like, "This is the gym rat in their natural habitat."
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, oh my god. All right,
Yeah,
man.
he has
Okay.
more plates to attract the local female, but they're
Yeah.
too busy filming, but disapproving of any onlookers.
I actually that is true too. There's a few times where like a girl she did one set on this ab machine that absolutely kills you. But she did set, and I just kind of noticed her out of the corner of my eye because I was doing a machine right next to her, and I was like, oh, she must be like trying to find her maximum weight because she did one set, and then was starting to get up, and she goes, okay, sweet, did you get that? I'm like, I look over and her friend's taking a photo of her. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, okay, now do me. And they switch and take a photo of her doing the machine with this one like crazy rep on it. And then they don't spray down the machine and they leave. I'm like, okay, this is,
Oh, the Instagram people.
oh my God. I was like, oh, you
Or the
guys are
TikTokers.
real? I always
Oh
thought
yeah.
that was like people that didn't like the gym. I always thought that was just something they kind of like were saying was like real. And I'm like, oh, probably in LA, but not in Belleville. It's like, no, it's a
I
very,
haven't
very
seen
real
it
thing.
in Kingston.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you go to Planet Fitness Kingston?
Well, I have the black card, so I can go
Yeah,
there or I can go here in town.
yeah,
Um, I got a couple guys. A lot of us work a lot of overtime,
yeah,
but a lot of us are pushing each other to go to the gym.
yeah,
Like if we all line up, like they asked me today, but recording,
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't want to be in that weather any longer than I had to be.
No.
Yeah. FYI, like the day that we're recording is like a nasty storm, or like one of the first ones of the kind of winter that kind of sun rises into the guess your lane kind of weather.
Yeah. God, yeah. It's all wet and heavy. I don't like it.
But
Sucks too.
yeah, I kind of been mostly just going when I can go with them. So I end up
Yeah,
going about 2 or 3 times a week.
that's good.
Again, same. It's like an hour and a half to 2 hour session, depending. Because if it's like I gotta help out with the dinner at home and stuff like that, it's only an hour and a half. So I'm
Hmm.
home for 6, or sometimes it's go until 6.
Yeah.
But I usually don't stay later because then I gotta commute home and
Well, yeah, that's the problem, right? When you have such a
yeah,
long drive ahead of you, it's kind of like, ugh.
yeah. The the crappy thing is that it's the fact that I got to commute in the crappy weather makes me not want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. I don't want to have to deal with the commute after
Yeah.
being sore. But I'm
Oh
still
yeah, it's all those
kind of
factors.
doing it. But I'm getting some new parts for the vehicle next
Hmm.
week, including like tires and stuff like that. So hopefully the new tread will be nicer and I won't have to worry about as much.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about that when I saw the snow this morning. It's like, ugh.
I'm
That's
having a hard time pushing myself to white knuckle through another winter.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just so much stress on your day.
Hmm.
Where like you're supposed to like kind of almost be decompressing on
Yeah.
the drive home.
Or like when I was like last night was a perfectly good example. You got such bad like these snow warnings and ice freezing rain warnings for the next day as of today, and I had anxiety that kept me up until like 1 in the morning
Oh,
because I'm just like I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
yeah. Aw.
It's like I got these new tires coming, but is that gonna be soon enough? So yeah, it's just it's bad mentality to have. If you can avoid that kind of mentality, please avoid it for yourself. I've just I don't know. After that time I got stranded on the 400 in the winter for hours, winter it just creates that anxiety again. Now I'm smart. I got CAA and
Yeah,
other stuff, and honestly, the only better thing I could do is go with a better service provider for my phone, but that has better coverage on the 401. And that's really all I can actually do extra for preventative. But yeah, if
yeah,
winter driving worries any of our listeners, get something like CA. Like it is, it costs you, but that I've already used one of like my four free. It's not free; it's just included.
yeah.
Um, Towings didn't cost me a dime. I got a tow before that when I tried fixing up my beater for the winter. Before I found out there's more work I had to do on it, so I'm using the year-round vehicle I usually use right now and trying to turn that into the winter vehicle right now. So I made it to work, and then on the drive home, pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
I had to get a tow, and for only like 40-kilometer tow, right, ran me like
Yeah.
400 and something bucks.
Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, thank
you
you.
wonder why there's nothing in my savings when I'm working on vehicles and everything
Yeah.
else.
Oh my God, that
Uh,
sucks.
but with that aside, I have been enjoying going to the gym. I'm a little like you said about going to the gym with me, and then you canceled it on me on the first day, right after the
Oh yeah,
show.
yeah.
And then
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
my
and then I'm thinking like, oh, he's not gonna go. I won't
oh,
bug
and
him.
I thought I
And
wasn't gonna go either. Yeah.
then you start going, and I'm just like, you sneaky. I'm not gonna finish that because we're still in the first half of the show.
But yeah, no, I knew I had to be because I had no motivation to go when you
Mm-hmm.
asked me. I was like, nope,
Yeah,
nope,
because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and then Dave's like, we could play video games. I'm like, man,
yeah,
I'm trying
damn
to get
right.
on this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so weird. Once like, I will kick and scream and fight like a little child until until it actually comes time, and then I'm fine. But yeah, I am a little stubborn child that like I don't know. It's like, no, I don't want to go to Disneyland. And it's like, what do you mean? You're going to love it. It's like, no, I'm going to hate it. And I hate you and I hate this family and I never wish I was born. And then also we're at Disneyland. I'm like, this is the best ride ever and I love Mickey. It's like, no,
I'm gonna
I'm weird that
translate
way.
that to Canadian. It's probably like Niagara Falls or Canada's Wonderland. Probably more Canada's Wonderland
Yeah.
because
Yeah, when they
I don't
used to
know.
have Scooby there.
Oh yeah, but actually, kind of on that, that's kind of like a little bit disappointing. Like how like after COVID and like from when we were younger, like how big Niagara was for tourism, and then a lot of like from what I heard, the Wax Museum isn't even going anymore.
Really?
From I think I remember
Oh,
reading like they sold it back in like the pandemic.
yeah. Well, yeah, when I went to Niagara last year, it was like Great Wolf Lodge was great, but everything else kind of sucked. There was nothing really that cool for like anything that I really wanted to do,
Yeah.
except in Great Wolf Lodge. Like Great Wolf Lodge has like a coffee shop, a water park, and like great pizza joint. It's like, no, we could have just as much fun with a decent room and the water park as we could like spending like so much money for like a 5-minute experience that's not even that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just looking at cost effective. It's like, I don't know. I feel like you'd get almost more like entertainment if you made a reservation at a restaurant and you did a day trip up to like Ripley's Aquarium or something.
Yep. Oh yeah. Very much so. No, like there's yeah, no, at that point, and I'm not really a big Toronto guy, I would much rather have like a day trip set in Toronto. Cause at least there's like stuff to do that isn't like so scammy trying to grab tourist money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have their tourist sections, but it's sections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, besides that, I did finally start Phantom Liberty in Cyberpunk. And yeah, wow. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's different though. It's cuz with how I'm playing my character, it's supposed to be like I'm trying to be like a top level merc that's trying to be as like corporate-esque as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And like going into Dogtown, it is like a demilitarized zone kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Where just like you're going and all of a sudden just a stray bullet hits your car and you're supposed to be completely fine with it. Like it's not anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I don't know. I kind of like it. Um, there's a cool part where you can steal cars now as like a full thing to get some wild rides to purchase. I pretty much got a like AV carrier as a car. It's like it's 3 wheels, so 6 wheels total. Has a turret on the top, fully armored up, has rocket launchers on it. So that's usually what I'm driving through Dogtown. But they also give you the smallest, cutest little Humvee. It's only like it's a coupe. It's a 2-person like smart car sized Humvee because all of Dogtown's streets are like very windy and twisty and like there's dead bodies everywhere. So you're trying to like go through the city and go down these small alleys on this little Humvee, and I love it.
Mm.
Um, what else? There is I found the John Wick Easter egg everyone was talking about.
You want to go
So that
more
was
into
pretty
that?
fun.
I don't think I've heard anything about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So well, once you start the DLC, you pretty much pop up into this marketplace, which is like no other marketplace in the whole game. It's kind of sick. There's like 2 of everything.
Yeah.
There's an iconic gun shop, which like you can buy iconic weapons, just like 6 of them, which is usually like something you have to go hunting for.
Mm.
So that's kind of sick. And pretty much everything in this, everywhere you go, you can buy iconic level stuff. Like even when you go to like a noodle shop, you can buy like a Militech food package that gives you permanently 1% on like your stamina regeneration.
Now, do you think that's just because
Like
you're
it,
like max level in the game that you're getting all that?
most likely, I feel like this DLC was made for people in endgame because like everything costs crazy amounts of money. But also like now everything is like iconic stuff that's like willing to like up your percentages and everything. It's made for stuff that's like you obviously have this. So do you want to take it one step higher and get the iconic version that maxes out your stats in this one field? And it's like some of it's cool too, cause like I go to the Ripper Dock and like some of the iconic gear, it's very much so. Like, you don't want to get all of it because
Yeah.
some of it is so heavily trying to put you into one class. Like, there'll be one that instead of a Sandivistan or a Berserk or a Netgear, it is literally a canister they put, and it just gives you 60% more cyberware capacity. That's all it does. So it's like one of those things that it's like that'd be a trade-off. It's not one I'm willing to make, but yeah, there's some cool stuff there that I'm kind of saving up for because pretty much my whole guy is sniper, precision rifle, and pistols. But anyways, the John Wick reference. You go to this market, and one of the gun vendors has all of her guns laid out, almost like that snapshot from the Suicide Squad with Joker on the ground and the guns spiraling around
Yeah.
him. Yeah, it kind of has it laid out like that. And if you go into the back left corner, back right corner, sorry, there is a box that has gold plating on it that says Mr. J. Wick on it,
Mm.
and it's guns reserved for him, which are, and you can't, unfortunately, you can't loot it or do anything, but love it. And once you actually get that, I think once you're in Dogtown, you can buy a pistol that does John Wick Chapter 4 chamber check,
Mm.
where, yeah, he's holding the gun, kind of like pops it up, grabs it, and like one hand pulls the chamber back, checks to see if there's a bullet in it, and then pops it back into regular position. So that's kind of sick. Let's see. Besides that, I'm not super far into the story.
I think with the last
Um,
update, like the 2.0 thing, they added a lot of special inspections with a lot of the guns.
Feels like it.
Like I don't
Really does.
remember seeing that when I first played, but from what I'm hearing from
Yeah.
people and seeing some like YouTube shorts and stuff like that here and there, still staying away from as much lore. I know the actors that are in it because
Yeah, well, yeah.
you couldn't really escape that. But
No, it was all over
yeah,
all over that. I have yet to meet him though. Yet to meet Idris Elba. But yeah,
mm,
I'm thinking it's coming. Yeah, and I didn't really listen to any of the lore or anything like that, so I'll try and keep that spoiler free because the storyline is kind of crazy.
yeah.
It's also one of those storylines that you're like, what are the chances that it's all happening to V?
Now, did you
You're
take?
like,
Now, did you take Corpo for your origin?
yeah, Corporal. I am a in my head lore, I am a ex gangster, got into the corporal line really happy, and then was brought down to Merc. That's why my body is fully tatted up. And when I was playing corporal, I had a head of hair. Once I went into Merc, I shaved it, showed the tattooed head I have.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was keeping a really nice trim beard to be like kind of professional. And I was always wearing suits of some sort with a ballistic vest on.
Mm,
Kind of show like if I'm showing up, I'm kind of showing up like a professional merc that you're paying
yeah.
for. But once I got into Dogtown, it's so crazy. And all of the like cosmetic gear you get is like based around heavy military ornaments. Like there's some that you can get that like pretty much like buff up your entire dude and then put a huge antenna on your back for a comms relay.
Mm,
And like there's some helmets you get where it's just literally your eye holes and it's a full ballistic
yeah.
mask. Yeah, like so it gets pretty crazy with some
Like
sort
those
of that
ones that
stuff.
are very
So
like face hiding, just slits. Yeah.
yeah, literally just that. There's some that are like super high tech new age where nothing's showing and it's all just like the screens are right in front of your eyes.
Was it Maelstrom guys or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these masks you get make you look like Maelstrom almost because
Hmm.
there's just so much tech going on. So yeah, I switched over from super corporate merc to pretty much
Like
like
Max Tack or
full
whatever. Or
military.
the guys that hunt the cyber
Pretty
psychos.
well. Yeah, I pretty much look like fully buffed up dude that's just ready. And then I got that tank like car.
Mhm.
So I'm just going around doing different Merc missions. Which reminds me, guess who the guess who the guy that handles out side missions and gigs is in Dogtown? Someone you already met, Mr. Hands.
Yeah. So it's not the starter guy, is it? In the streets.
He is the fixer guy for Pacifica that when I played at first round, I was like trying to do everything. Obviously, I'm like trying to like get mission. I'm trying to undo everything. I'm like, okay, cool. Pacifica. Mr. Hands was the guy that gave you 1 gig in Pacifica and was like, okay, next time, call me and it better be about business because I have some work for you. I go, sweet. So I call him immediately, no answer. I'm like, okay, cool. So like every play session, at the very last thing I would do before logging off, I'm like, might as well give Mr. Hands a ring and see if he wants to give me some of those gigs. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I ended off the campaign like happy with my ending with Pan Am and all that. But I remember being like, so I guess Mr. Hands was just a big
He wasn't
whatever.
as hands-on as he'd like.
Well, yeah, I always was just like, dude, don't call me. Kind of be a mean person to me about my professionalism and then don't answer your phone. I always was just pissed off about that. And it's like, dude, I'm ready to do stuff, but you're not doing anything.
That, like this, like the stereotype, like red pill disrespect a person or like disrespectful compliment, and then they'll chase you. Yeah, you're kind of fitting the bill on that one.
That's what. Oh yeah, no, because I was just like, okay, fine. You want to show? You want to see something? I'll show you. But then you're not going to answer. Whatever. So then, yeah, as soon as I get into Dogtown, all of a sudden, Mr. Hands calls me. He goes, "Hey, so V, my favorite Merc, how's it going?" And I'm so glad they put this in the tagline. He goes, "Your favorite Merc, you only ever put me on one job." It's like, hallelujah, hallelujah, Luli. Oh, it's been so long since I've been to church.
I tongue-tied it.
Yeah.
Oh, you started
it. But anyways, yeah. Praise be, whatever you want to say. He's finally admitting the fact that, yeah, you didn't call me back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I was just pissed about that. But it is kind of cool. You're getting some pretty cool missions. They're pretty. The gigs are a step above. They're pretty long than I'm used to. Kind of have some stories into them. I've only done 2.
It's 2 expansions that were planned put into 1, and then that's it. We're gonna start developing the next one, or Witcher, or whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is kind of nice because, yeah, there is a lot of meat on the bone for this DLC that I can.
I'm
see
sad
from.
the multiplayer that was somewhat like teased, it just ended up getting dropped.
Oh, it would have been so nice.
There are people working on.
The problem is though. The problem is though, once you start getting some of like, with my dude slowing down time, well, actually, technically going faster, but like I have so many mods and cyberware and special abilities that like I trigger about 50 times in a regular engagement. I feel like you would be slow constantly. Or they'd have to do something weird with the tick rate of like you would see me just spinning around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Also, yeah. You know how it's like that slow mo? Well, I just hit the DPS button on my mouse and I'm just like.
Well, yeah. You know what? They did it in Dying Light 2. You can do some slow mo stuff in there. Your character looks a little weird to your teammates.
Well, that's a mod. Right now,
for you,
everything looks weird. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like the animations, like right now they got it to where you can get in the same vehicle. You can run around. I think they just got it to where the second player can shoot things. It's a mod, right? It's not supported in any official capacity. It's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying their hardest, which that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so what else? Oh, Skippy is bugged for me. I'm kind of pissed off about that.
What kind of bug?
The
Yeah, I
gun
know.
that
I know
talks to you.
Skippy. What's the bug?
Okay. Yeah. After 50 kills, he is not switching.
Not a bug.
Why?
They pushed an update to where they don't. Where he says he's like, "All right, I've killed enough for you," or something like that. You get like a one voice line. Yeah, they
What?
didn't want because people were using that gun, and the people were like, "No, we want you to hand that in." I don't know why they enforced that, but they did.
Oh, I can't. I'm not even getting the handed
Oh,
in
okay,
yet.
maybe yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, cause I picked it to be passive mode, puppy loving mode, whatever. Cause I knew after 50 kills he's gonna switch to killer mode. So I wanted that. So I was waiting. And like I've started using it, and I was using it so long that eventually the enemies that I'm coming out against, it's like I can't use this anymore. I like all of my encounters are like me running away, getting a lock on, firing a few times, and like thank God I had the second heart attachment because I was dying almost every encounter. Because I didn't have the firepower. I was slowing down time all the time, but nothing was happening. So I had to eventually it's in my inventory and I'm kind of waiting. But yeah, really liking that. What else is there? Just the whole atmosphere is pretty sick. There's almost like a Ready Player One-esque element to one place where there's once again another market to buy stuff. Like they really pushed, like instead of having like a few shops next to one another, it's all about markets where like you go into one place and there's not just 3 shops around, there's every single shop you need and then doubles of some shop. Yeah, so absolutely love that aspect of it. Yeah, but I tried to keep away from the story as much as possible. Yeah. Oh, and I did some of those Pan Am. Oh yeah, I sent you a video. I did the Pan Am romance encounters. Those are funny, except they kind of didn't work out the timing as great as I hoped.
Well, I think they're originally mods that
So,
got implemented by the devs.
yeah. And for anyone that's wondering, just for some context, once you pick a romantic partner in Cyberpunk, you can then now opt to have them hang out at your apartment, whichever one too, which I really like that aspect. So pretty much it's just calling them up and telling them which apartment to meet at. You go to that apartment, you have a date, and how you end it is you just leave without ever saying goodbye. And the first time I did that, I was like, oh, cool. There's 2 voice lines I had. Used those up pretty quick. And then it was like cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. Go dance. Sent a video to Derek. Most awkward dancing. And I sent you a good part of it. I sent you the part where at least she's moving. Because there's one part where she looks like a crackhead or something, man. She looks awful. She's just kind of with her head down, kind of just swaying to a part that's actually like a pickup song. And it's the Edge Runners theme. Yeah, that's the cool part. Almost like brought a tear to my eye.
Intro theme or like the main like I'm a zero. Okay.
The main song. The main song that everyone like absolutely dies to because it's like the saddest song. Yeah, so they started playing that. I was like, okay, this is heartbreaking. But then also you just see Pan Am's wacky ass physics trying to dance. And then all you do is just put up 5, bring your 5 down, put up 5 on the other hand, and then just do that for a full minute. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, what I was saying about the timing is you'll do that, and then 2 days later in game, she calls you up to do it again. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, we'll try that again. Same 2 voice lines, same activities, nothing different. So now unfortunately, I'm ignoring her texts, which are kind of funny to do. But yeah, so that's pretty much. Oh, did I tell you? I have the Edge Runners perk now.
What's an Edge Runners perk?
Yeah, buddy, there is. You'd love this. You get edge runners and you get 50 points more on your cyberware ability.
Okay.
So you can go 50 exceeding what you're supposed to do. And for every point, you get 0.05 off
Okay,
of your
yeah, I think
health.
we talked about this before. I just needed a little bit of a reminder about the health thing.
Yeah. So I actually got
What's the
that.
perk called? Because it should be built different or something.
That's so. I wish that like if you started actually doing it, like your muscles would get like weird and tense or something, or you'd start
I
looking
think if you
weird.
like
But
maxed it out, I think you should get like the occasionally like when you activate your like slowdown stuff like that, you just get like the red kind of haze real quick as you're like something like that
yeah,
would be cool.
because you do get you get fury every once in a while where it goes yellow and you hear like people laughing and people
Hmm.
screaming at you, which is cool. But you don't get like the red zap, which it was a perfect implementation for it. Like it was a
Hmm.
perfect time for it. But yeah. So that's pretty much wrapping up my cyberpunk. That I haven't really dived into
Okay.
it as much as I want to, but yeah, it was pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to meeting Idris Elba and getting some more cool cars.
Nice. How about shows?
And shows. Ooh, okay. I didn't think I'd like it, but I started up the live
I
action
told you
One
you would
Piece.
like it.
Yeah. Um, just to be disruptive, I did try and watch like the anime
I'm
as
having a
well
hard
because I was like,
time
oh,
getting
maybe I
into
just
it.
opened up the whole thing. I can't at all. I love the live action still. It's still great, but like actually watching the anime, I'm like, okay, this is why I don't watch anime. Just kind of really
It's an
not
older
up my
anime
alley. But
too. It like the
yeah,
newer ones, they have a little bit more of a draw into kind of our generation.
yeah,
Whereas if you look at something like
yeah,
that, it's like if you didn't grow up watching Pokemon and you're like 30 and you saw Pokemon for the first time, you'd probably be like the first original. You'd probably basically be like, oh, there's some kid going on an adventure. Okay, like Monkey D. Luffy, some
yeah,
kid doing
yeah,
some weird adventures.
yeah, yeah. But besides that, I am
Oh yeah,
enjoying the live action. It's interesting. It's kind of funny. The I do like the different abilities that the devil fruit gives you. Um Mind you, I've only seen like two
yeah.
at this point besides Luffy. Seen Buffy or Buggy. That's really funny because that's what Luffy does in the actual anime. He can't remember the pirate's
Yeah,
name. The clown pirate.
yeah.
The one with the big nose. Yeah, when he can separate himself, that was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then the Black Cat one's just fast guy. But no, for anyone who is not really into anime but really just likes a decent story, I'd recommend it. It's kind of like a fun watch. I don't know what the editors or I guess the color mixer did, but he made the show super dark. Like the light moments are still like too dark on my phone, and like even on the TV, I'm kind of like, there's something going on with the grading, the color, but yeah. And then some scenes are great, but for the most part, I remember when it's like getting like trying to be moody, it's way too dark. Um, but yeah, I think you've
Yeah,
watched it, right?
I watched it. I actually
Yeah.
sent you a thing earlier that compares the like actors to the anime portraits.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is cool. Okay.
So yeah, they
Huh.
did a good job with the casting overall.
Oh yeah, they got Luffy
Yeah.
down pat. Um
The guy that plays what's it?
yeah.
Oh, I want to say. Oh, it's been a while since I watched it. The guy with the three swords. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say green hair. Three Swords. That's
Yeah.
all I can tell you. Yeah.
He plays Zorro. I wanted to say Zorro, but I was like, isn't that the Italian guy with the rapier? The pirate hunter guy. It's impressive that he's
Yeah.
able to, because that's like not like a fake sword that he's holding in the mouth. Like it's heavy. He actually had to train a lot to be able to do just the like, because he has to spend hours right doing that for all the takes. Like, I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty impressive for the commitment
Oh
it
yeah.
takes for something like that.
Oh, I would have thought your jaw would have like been
Yeah,
just nuts for that. But yeah, oh, this is kind of crazy to see.
but yeah, no, and Naki, the guy that plays Monkey DeLupi, he's been in a couple of
Yeah.
Netflix series, but this is kind of like, I feel like this is his pop out one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I really like it. He's a great character for just being like a really
Uh,
smiley
the
oaf
guy that drew
pretty well.
the manga for One Piece had a huge say in the casting. Oh yeah.
Oh no way.
And he got to meet
Oh, that's
the guy
good.
that wrote it, and he's like, yeah, this one.
no,
This is Luffy. But
yeah, I think
if
he
you
does a
feel like
great
the show
job.
ends on a weird note, they actually did have more episodes produced, but Netflix kind of cut it back and held some of those episodes for the next season.
Oh, there's gonna be a second. I haven't finished it by the way, but
Oh yeah,
there's
this
gonna
is
be a
an
second
anime that
season.
has over 1,000 episodes. But
That's
what's
sick.
nice
Okay,
about it
cool.
is
Because
where I think it's like what 10, 12 episodes the season is, something like that.
I
It
think yeah,
ends
10.
on,
Yeah.
it cuts a lot of the filler, and so you go from episode 1 of the anime to it ending on episode 45 of the anime, and the 12 episodes of the live action.
Good. Cool. I need myself a
Yeah,
little
so it's a
tidbit.
good shrink. And anyone that's like,
Yeah.
oh, Nick and John and them we played Lethal Company with, they're huge fans of
Yeah.
the anime.
Yeah.
And the live
Oh
action got the
really?
thumbs
Okay.
up.
Oh sweet. I'm glad. Cause yeah,
Like Cowboy
it's
Bebop, which I
just
liked
enough
the
for
live
me.
action of, like the anime hardcore fans were
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, I heard that too. Cause I watched Cowboy Bebop, not
Yeah.
knowing that it was an anime. And then all of a sudden it showed up as like, oh, every anime person hates it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
liked
but
it.
it
They
was
had a good
nice. It was
actor choice.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, apparently not. But yeah, so have you been
Tied
watching any new shows?
into yeah, I did start one anime. It started off as a YouTube short, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Scroll through the comments. They named the anime. I'm like, I wonder if that's on Crunchyroll. Scroll, found it. So I've been watching
Yeah,
this one called
I
Tokyo
like that.
Revengers. So it's this
All right.
guy who he was a delinquent in high school, but he got out. And then he finds out people he cared
Okay.
about died from the gang that he was affiliated with in back in high school. They were a bunch of high school kids, but the gang blew up into a bigger organization in his late 20s.
Okay.
And so he's essentially, without spoiling a whole lot of it, ends up in a situation where he can time travel from that exact day 12 years ago. And he runs into a kid that believes in the occult, and he's like, he just on a whim, because he's thinking he's in a fever dream of something, it's just like, man, it's crazy how, your sister's gonna die, and everything else like that is like in 12 years. And the kid, just being a little kid, he just like trained super hard to become a cop, and ends up working with him in the future, because he can time travel kind of back and forth of the same day, but it's 12 years. So if you're on the 17th, of like
Yeah.
January. Jump 12 years ago, you're back in 2012 January that day. Yeah. So
17. No way. Okay.
so he's now he's jumped back to the future, and the cop guy pretty much picks him up. The kid from the past is like, yeah, we're saving my sister. And so he's looking at future news reports and
Oh,
clippings,
that
and
is.
then it's a lot of like gang warfare. So it's like, a lot of it's in the gray area. Not all the details are there. And then as he's like, oh, these guys
Yeah.
are bad. But I gotta save my friends and the sister and the love interest and everything
Yeah.
else like that. And then goes back and changes the fate of a lot more people, and then a lot more people get at jeopardy, and then he has to go back and try and save them because he's now changing fate, and he still retains everything. And somehow the kid, through all that, it's also retaining all the changes. And then he's
Huh.
got one friend who he's desperately trying to save, who is in present time being blackmailed into trying to kill him. So he's trying to take out the
Dude,
blackmail
yeah.
element so his friend doesn't have to kill him. Because his friend in present day has a family that's
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
leveraged against them.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like a great power, but it's also kind of
But
a bad one because it's always 12 years and you can't go
no,
back a day earlier
exactly,
if you
right?
made a
And
mistake a
if you
day
spend a
earlier.
week in the past,
Yeah.
you're unconscious for a week in the present. So the
Yeah.
cops have got him hooked up to an IV in the apartment. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
So he's waiting. So
Oh
not
my
just is he burning
God.
present time to try and save these people, they go back, and he's also reliving and making his life better. But when he's in the present, the past version of just him being an idiot teenager delinquent is now acting up and acting a fool and causing more issues.
Oh my
It's
God.
only
It's
24 episodes
almost
long,
a
and it's just kind of
hindrance.
one of those like, yeah, it's like I kind of like on the premise got me hooked, and then there's just like the big bro figure that just like he ends up saving that character, and it takes a lot for him to save. But now because he saved him, he now has a guy, he murdered somebody, and so he's on death row, so he's using his cop connection to go talk to that guy in present time, and that's how he's getting
Yeah.
information that's not in the news articles. It's because he ended up saving one guy that was supposed to die, who ends up being alive at the end
Yeah.
but he's on death row. And that's kind of where I'm at right
Yeah.
now.
You see, like,
I still got like another, what is that? I'm on episode 8 of 24.
yeah, with that, you would want to research and plan every single time you're going
Yeah.
super
And at one
precisely.
point, like, he did it. He saved everybody, but then his friend who is being blackmailed tried to kill him. And so now, but he was also around the people he had just saved, seeing them getting all emotional, and he managed to survive, but now they're dead again. So now he's got to go back and change. So it's like repeating, like, you did it once, they got to do it again. And that's how they expand into like
Yeah.
the second season. Is the save that is the save is the try
Yeah, that's
and
funny because
because they're solid by you, and the guy is like crying and pleading for forgiveness as he's trying to. It's like I'm
yeah,
scared, I have to, and he's just like, okay, why do you have to? It's like,
yeah,
yeah, so
because they have a family. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be a weird one because it's like a great power, but it's also like one
and
that
it takes
takes
so much
so
from
much
you too.
effort.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's turning from the guy that ran away from the problems to now he ran away from the gang life to now this person that wanted out of the gang life is going deeper in the past into the gang life to try and save the people he cares about. And he's working with the future
Yeah.
cop. But you can see his character development is changing a little bit to where he's kind of getting a little hooked on the gang life, the intoxications that come with living that kind of life.
Yeah.
Or the fantasizing
Yeah.
intoxications.
Do what you want.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like
dude,
my tie-in to like the anime / TV talk we were having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, we got a little bit of time left because it took me a little bit to get the blurb out. So
no worries. Okay, so just coming back here, we kind of had a little bit of a technical issue. So just to wrap up our broadcast edition on Amherst Island 101.3 FM, I'm going to let Derek take us away.
All right, so just on the last little bit of the wrap, one game I've been hitting is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Have you heard of that one?
No.
So you are
I've heard of
Dark
Warhammer.
Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same universe, same lore, same all that stuff, but it's kind of in a Baldur's Gate style.
Okay. All right.
You're leading a rogue trader ship. So what a rogue trader is someone sanctioned by the Emperor to do whatever means necessary. You usually find a lot of heretics, dogmatic people, and iconolists kind of in the mix-up, kind of going that way. Dogmatic meaning kind of just like the status quo is the status quo. Iconolist is, do good by thy neighbor, and then the heretic is like power, kind of thing. But instead of having like a 4 party limit cap, I think it's like 6 or 8 that you can get up to and command like this squadron. So it's almost XCOM in a sense, but you got the Baldur's Gate kind of explore around.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
You also have the XCOM ship in a sense.
Yeah. I
just started dabbling into that. Just happened to be kind of on a whim, bought it on the Xbox, so I have something to play off the TV. But I've been enjoying it so far. With that, I'm gonna wrap us up into, so you've been listening to On the Rewind, our bi-weekly show, where we try to clash the nerd and the geeky topics, the latest tech, and kind of things we're nostalgic on. We thank you for enjoying the show. We are on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM. This is our 32nd episode. We've been doing this for nearly 2 years. And I hope you tune into our longer run of the show, what we call the extended edition. I'm trying to workshop a fancy name. We'll see what the next episode holds. But you can catch us whatever podcatcher of your choice is. That could be Apple Podcasts, not Apple Music, because podcast is now divulged into a second app.
Really?
Spotify, yeah. We're on the Amazon Prime music stuff. You don't need Prime to listen to us there. If you just have a Google Pixel, you can listen to us on Google. But that's our rewind for this week. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Welcome back to On the Rewind.
All right, welcome back to On the Rewind's Extended Edition. We're still brainstorming a name for what we want to call that. I want to go something a little fancier this year. We'll get there. Again, this is a Neon Blinds media production. You can find that at the website with the very same name for all sorts of things, such as like your social media management, if you need a photo op done, or if you need a certain element done for a creative idea that you need, or possibly filming. He's been part of a few different projects here, probably more than I'm aware of, so few probably undersells it quite a bit. Made a killing in the pandemic, not gonna tell you how. But we are on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM if you want to check us out on the earliest you can, because we do air on Thursdays and we upload typically on Fridays or whenever I get to it. I am a little bad for it. But thank you again for tuning in to our longer run of the show. We just touched on Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I want to tie that in to Henry Cavill, the guy that's going to be the lead protagonist in the Warhammer 40k show. We don't have too many more details yet, but for fans of the Warhammer series, people that like Dark Tide, the Road Trader as mentioned, or any of the Heresy books, or any of the other, there is endless content for Warhammer. And if you're just a tabletop nerd like myself, there's plenty of that there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you like painting figurines, and you like mechs, or robots, or orcs, or anything you can think of, fancy elves with like lightsabers, Warhammer's got it. If you want a chainsaw sword, Warhammer's got it. But with all that being said, there has been a couple stills of Henry Cavill going around in the super soldier armor.
Sweet.
He's gonna be a big thickums. He's not gonna be quite lean as Geralt. He's gonna be a thick boy.
Yeah, I would think so. You kind of have to be.
The whole premise around that is that they are bioengineered humans to be the perfect soldier body to fight the heresy and the evils.
Yeah, is that the same, like, is Warhammer that one meme that keeps going around of, like, does he know his comms are on? And it's, like, the Warhammer soldier, like, singing as he's, like, killing all that. Yeah. I love that.
The AI generator is singing, I'm still standing there.
Yeah, and he's just like...
and it's just blood, guts, and mayhem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
like
my favorite thing. That's one of my favorite things. Whenever I see that scrolling, it's like, even though I've seen it 100 times, it's like, yeah. That's my D&D character right there.
Yeah, he's having the best time ever. It's like, let him cook. And he's just
that's usually the caption.
Yeah.
Like, let him cook. And then it goes into... There's a whole bunch of different edits for it. Everyone trying to get their view time on the YouTube shorts, because you gotta get like 1 million minutes watched or whatever.
Dang, get anything good,
to start making money off shorts.
Well, no, that's cool that Cavill's gonna be playing in it.
Oh yeah, lead guy. He's pulling the same thing he pulled with The Witcher. If I don't like your writing, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So with that, celebrity tie-ins, have you heard of what's going on with Cat Williams?
Not at all. Nope.
Do you know who Cat Williams is?
I probably know the face. I am awful with names.
All right, I'm gonna send you the face.
That's funny. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and Kevin Hart kind of started getting into Hollywood stuff around the same time. Like, he was part of Scary Movie. He was also in a handful of other things. He was best known for playing Money Mike in Friday After Next.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Wild and Out? Matt Rife was on. It's like the rap / comedy / roasting red versus black team. Yeah. He's been a guest on that a couple times. He was recently on a guest of a show called the Shay Shay Show with Shannon Sharp, a previous football player who's now retired and doing what every professional athlete of something does, podcasts like we are. But he's got a bit more of a Hollywood audience, as well as, like, Hollywood people listening. And Ice Cube weighed in on some things after the fact, but he's pretty much called out the whole the people in Hollywood putting black guys in dresses in order to exploit their career.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. And some people don't care. Some people do care about that. But his big thing is he got into a lot of the joke stealing. Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Like, and there's people that found video receipts and like the dates that like this joke aired and then their joke aired. And like just the tweaking and stuff like that. Like Steve Harvey's bad for stealing. A handful of other ones. He's pointed out a lot of stolen jokes. Now, he says he doesn't fault people like Kevin Hart because a lot of them have been doing it for so long that they got writers for them, and then but those writers, they get influences from elsewhere. But he kind of just like 2024 is the year of truth, and he starts putting out all these Hollywood secrets that we don't know if they're actually secrets or if he's just going off the deep end a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but he outed a lot of people. Talks a lot about God, Satan, a lot of different things, and like, and the biggest thing is probably the realest thing that I think was actually a part of the show is the sold their soul to the devil. The biggest thing in Hollywood, when you sold your soul, like when you've done something, favor, whatever it is, to get that part or whatever, or to have this person favor you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The biggest, and how he compares it to selling your soul is like the job of someone who sold their soul is to act like they never sold their soul,
Okay.
to get more people interested in what they're doing for them to sell their souls to get into that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, you know how many times I convinced you to do something? Just like kind of piggyback off like one of our highlights from our New Year's bit.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It turns out you're a part of the machine.
Yes. But
Oh,
no,
just to piggyback off of the joke stealing. Apparently, Robin Williams was really bad for that.
I had no idea, but I heard after hearing this, I saw that kind of starting to pop up in the feed as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like yeah, everyone's like he was a great actor, but he did have some comedy, and most of his comedy was just kind of sitting there and like riffing. But apparently, when when the riffing would like kind of die down and he didn't know what to go off of, he would always go to other people's comedy comedy stuff. Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
how do you feel about that? Because like, if someone does something with your song that you don't like, you have an avenue through the court system to get, you know, reparations
yeah, yeah,
or get them to stop. You
yeah,
have a route. Whereas jokes, not so much. You just kind of get publicly ousted by the community.
yeah. I
But a
think
lot of
they've
these people that are already ousted stop doing stand up. Like Amy Schumer is terrible, but now she's doing like these weird sitcoms, weird hosting things, and stuff like that. And she's stolen from a lot of people. And if they steal from, and Cat Williams kind of mentions this, if they steal from the big time folks, there's a lot of little people getting fucked.
oh definitely. Yeah, I think the comedy world has kind of made it like the punishment is worse than the crime if you
Yeah.
steal, where it's almost not worth it
But if you're
because
big
like what
enough to where, like, if you fit in one of these niches where you got like a white woman that's stealing a black man's jokes,
yeah
right? But her audience just, doesn't happen to watch that kind of content where it's there, then she has this large audience that does not know about comedian B because they want to listen to a female comic or
yeah
whatever. So that's just kind of like, if you go to Midwest or wherever, comedy's
yeah
awesome because it's so diverse that it is, but people like have a set kind of audience. Like
yeah
Gabriel Iglesias has a lot of people like myself. I listen to everybody, like Kevin Hart, who's
yeah
also been accused of stealing some jokes. You got Gabriel Iglesias. You like before Louis C.K. was canceled, I watched his stuff
yeah
before finding out
um
what he did. But like, if you're in that market and they don't watch this other comedian at all, or they don't know of, then you're kind of fine. And if you're big enough, you're still booking venues, and there's not really a way
yeah
for them to get reparations. Like a lot of these guys, they workshop these jokes. It's not like they magically wrote this down. Oh, this magic. Jokes have changed over years. You can go watch a special that has the same joke as the one that is like 10 years later. That joke probably got improved somewhere down the line.
oh definitely yeah I just think, well, you could bring up Amy Schumer as like a perfect example of someone who was like peak comedian got ousted for stealing so many jokes. Then everyone was like, you know what? She's not that funny anyways when it is her own joke. So, yes, she's still relevant, but she is definitely not booking gigs
Mhm.
with anywhere that respects comedy. And then actually you look at Joe Rogan. I forget who it was, but it was a comedian at the Comedy Cellar who was notorious for stealing jokes, and he was so big that no one really said anything. And Joe was kind of coming up in comedy, and he decided to like publicly go up there and like just roast him for stealing the jokes. And he actually started a whole movement of where that comedian's now no longer welcome in a lot of LA comedy places. And that actually like jettisoned Rogan's career in comedy to being pretty big. And then the podcast got huge, and it kind of just like it all like it worked its way up. And it's kind of the same thing where when you steal jokes and you're big enough, people reference where you stole the jokes from, and a lot of people actually get like a decent amount of publicity off of the fact of, you know, that one joke you really liked that was really funny,
Yeah.
that actually was this guy because he's really funny. And then yeah, kind of that's why I keep saying like the comedy world has kind of made the punishment so severe because it's such a deep industry that's hard to get into, where you have to build names to actually get a career. That yeah, I think it would be great if you could actually get money out of it, but I think in the long game of it, you kind of do get money out of it because your career does jettison upwards because people respect you more that your joke was stolen, I guess, by such a big name, because it's like they
But
picked any
that
joke, they
only
picked a good
works for
joke.
people that are big enough in themselves, though. Like, there's a lot of the little guys that are going to get more screwed over than anybody
Oh
else.
yeah. Yeah. The fact is you have to at least know the person and their joke to recognize that it was stolen.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. But yeah.
No, it's kind of a weird kind of place. And then it kind of makes me look back in hindsight is you got all these people that, like, despite the cancel culture jokes that are made and how real it can be for some, there's also a lot of people that um, theaterized being canceled because that boosts their viewership.
Yeah.
Because like look at what Matt Rife did. He said some jokes that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
His audience loved it,
Oh yeah.
but
Especially went on Netflix.
yeah, for a special too.
Yeah, I know.
But
I
you know
was
there
like, dude.
are like there's that like comedian Anthony where it's like if you watch that you know you're getting into something along the lines of like a dead baby joke or something.
Yeah.
But him being relatively new, there's the shock factor, right?
Yeah, you have to grab your audience some way, and
Yeah.
that's the first time a
And
lot of people would be
his
experiencing
whole thing
you.
is like, I'm gonna weed out the weak ones in the first jab. But did you hear about how he apologized?
No, I didn't even watch the special. I just kind of heard about it verbatim from people.
Wasn't even that bad, but like it's one of those things. Like, did I find it funny? No. Did it stop me from watching the rest of the show that was kind of funny and some of it was pretty funny? Yeah, I kept watching,
Yeah.
but it's like it was a joke. Left a bad taste, but it was whatever.
Yeah.
But how he apologized is he didn't apologize. He's put out a tweet link saying, here's a link to my official apology. And it was a link to where you buy kids special need helmets.
All
And
right.
now because of that, he's now ended up the Jordan Peterson podcast. He's
Yeah.
talked to Joe Rogan. he's blown up even more because the only time you actually get, because there's, if you're small enough, yeah, you can get canceled. No problem. But if you got a community, as long as you don't back down from your standpoint, it's when you actually apologize and back down. Because you've now ruined yourself for this audience, but now that you've apologized to that audience, your core audience now sees you no longer have any authenticity.
Yeah. That actually happened to a TikToker. I forget what her name is. Starts with a J something. But she was doing all these life hacks and stuff like that. Um and she would like read through all the comments and then make videos on those comments apologizing or showing that it affected her. So then the comments kept growing. She kept getting more affected by them, so people saw it affected her, so they kept doing it to the point now where like she is pretty much just disgraced from the platform because everyone knows that this all gets to her so badly,
Hmm.
and they see that she like will just fold with like a little gust of wind, that it's like, okay, yeah, she's just doing whatever she can to be liked.
Yeah.
That, yeah, no one likes that about her, which is kind of funny in its own right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
no,
that's
it's different.
almost sad.
Oh, it's terrible. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things that's like a lot of people respond to authenticity, which is why I think the Matt Rife thing worked.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, yeah, no, I kind of like that better. I'm just like, yeah, you're not
Or
gonna.
he made an off-color joke, and then the rest of the special was talking about how he was gonna fuck your grandma.
Yep. It's just like, I don't know. Especially in comedy, there's very few things that should be off limits because it's like you're supposed to laugh at stuff. It's
Yeah.
all supposed to kind of get you to
Well, it's
loosen
like
up.
Dave Chappelle put out another special. I haven't listened
Yeah.
to it fully, but he like in the opening he talks about how he meets Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey's a method actor,
Yeah.
and so when he goes to meet Jim Carrey, he now has to call him by his character's name, and he's a little upset because he just gets there. He's like his dad has just passed away, all this other stuff. He goes to meet Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wants to be called Alan or something, and he can't
Yeah.
talk to Jim Carrey. He has to talk to Jim Carrey pretending to be this Alan character.
Yeah.
And
I'd be like, okay,
yeah,
no.
and he was the same way, but it was, you got to see some like acting process, and so he's like, in hindsight, he was appreciative to that. But the current moment, he was pretty pissed, and he's like, and it's like, I know you're Jim Carrey. I see you're Jim Carrey, and you're making me talk to you like you're this Alan guy. And then he made this whole bit
Yeah.
about how that's how transgenders make him feel.
That's, oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it's kind of funny. Where it's just like, okay, can we come back? Oh wow. Yeah.
Like, nothing
Hey.
against them, and it's just now there's that whole flare up about how he's kind of going there, but
Well, yeah, he's gone against transgenders before, and the blow up was huge, which made him go even harder on them after that.
yeah, and this whole thing
Which,
and
yeah,
this
I
whole
don't.
bit was like that was like the one thing he can say because he's like I don't want no more trouble, and but he made the joke, so of course he was it's like saying it's like I don't want any trouble, but at the same time you're wearing your chains on the outside of your shirt and you're walking down that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it is funny. Yeah, because he just keeps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's like the one person that shows absolutely zero fucks given, I guess, against that. And yeah, that community does not like him,
No.
but they keep watching it.
Yeah, well, they're good. They watch. They hate watch. They all do.
Yeah, yeah, they want to find something to be
Like
upset about. Which, yeah,
it'll like you can only be canceled if you let them cancel you. It's like the viewer attention that he has. Like Netflix isn't gonna kick him off. He's
nope,
controversial, and we're finally
yeah,
getting out to the other side of that cancel culture. Where controversial doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get canceled anymore.
no, no. Some people are too big to fail.
Now, according to Bill
Um,
C-18, you might get censored in Canada.
t-
But did you hear about the
um,
digital tax they're talking about putting out? They want to put
no, what's that?
3% extra tax on digital goods. And this is
Jesus Christ.
Freeland's new tax. And the only reason why I say this is like we're nerdy. We own a lot of games, and then
Yeah.
they want to make this retroactive to like 2022. So all the video games you bought on like Steam or like PlayStation, they want to additionally tax people. Yeah,
Retroactively. Jesus.
it's like I know you spent too much money, but come on.
Yeah.
I
Like,
already
what the
paid
hell?
taxes on that.
Yeah. Well, I thought, yeah, you already pay taxes. So, like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
But I just wanted to give Baz a
Yeah.
little bit of heads up because anyone that's listening to this part of the show is stayed and listened to us talk D&D, talk about video games and everything else. So if you're in Canada, this tax might be relevant to you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So,
Oh, one story I do want to touch on before we're out is you saw the picture that I sent in the Discord chat?
Can I open it?
Yep. All right, you want to read that top title for me?
Doug's Hunt for the Three Keys.
All right, so my coworker that I work with has messed with me a few times. I always end up getting him back somehow or some way. Always a lot more than he gets me back because he's like a 40-year-old and I'm 26, so I always kind of try and be a little more creative than he does. So what he did this time was not to get into it a lot, but the owner of the store is awfully racist and just like she's a senile old bat that is something else. But anyways, so he walks into the store and he goes, "Hey, such and such, have you heard that they're letting in 50,000 immigrants?" It's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, letting them in as of Tuesday. Oh, there's a car. I gotta go." And then the store owner goes off for like an hour and a half about how awful that is and how much she hates them and all this. And I go out for a smoke. I look at him like, "That's not true, is he?" He goes, "Not at all. I just knew it would get her going for a good span of the day." So I was like, "Okay, sweet. Thank you. Do you work this Tuesday?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Sweet. See you then." And so I worked Monday closing on his side of the store, and he needs a key to open up the porta potty, he needs a key to open up the dumpster, and he needs a key to open up the smoke cabinet. So I made a PDF of Doug's hunt for the 3 keys. It is a treasure hunt for him to go on at 6 a.m. in the morning when he tries to open up the store for 7. So he has an hour to do all this. And starts off with, "Where, oh where might the keys be? Solve these riddles 3. Riddle number 1, the smelly key. The dumpsters do reek. If the trash key you seek, then you'll need to a better scent, so to speak." And I'll get the answer out now. We have those little car.
I was thinking it was gonna be something that smells better, right? So it's gonna be like car air fresheners or something like that.
Yeah. So the little like metal pin that comes out that we hang the trees on, I took the key out of the loop, I put the key on that, I pushed it all the way to the back, and I put all the tree scent things on it. So he had to go through all of them to find the key.
Did he find it?
Real number 2, the stinky. I actually don't know. I wanted the surprise till tomorrow. I want to see.
Oh, it's too bad we don't get the end
because
result.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, I know. I'll get the end result next episode. Real number 2 is the stinky key. I'm so glad I waited till the extended edition. If you want to unlock the shitter, you best call a plumber. But if you don't have the time, then you best draw the right number.
Lottery tickets?
The gas draw tickets. So when you get gas at my station, you get a ticket with a number on it. And obviously there's a duplicate with that number on it for them to draw that goes into a big box. I put the key in there and I shook it. So it's in somewhere with those keys or with those tickets.
Yeah.
So you had to get that. Real number 3 is the smoky key. I only had like a half hour to do this because I thought about it at the end of my shift. This is the weakest one. So you'd like to open the smoke cabinet. Wouldn't be that simple, would it? Instead of a bone, let me throw you a
Or by the
biscuit.
cookies.
It's by the actual dog biscuits. We get a huge Costco size box of dog biscuits just because we have a lot of dogs that come to the station. Just put it in there, shook it up, left it.
Oh, shaking it's the worst part, man. If you just left it on top, like that's the salt in the wound.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, next show I'll give everyone an update of, because I did give the answer key to the manager that was working on the other side. Yeah. I was like, okay, so let him work for it, but if you're getting close to open and he hasn't found all the keys,
okay,
here, I took a picture and I told him where it is, and he'll still have to dig for them, but I'm like, hey, this is where it is. So
the answers to cover your butt.
Yeah.
We're gonna begin with that.
Yeah.
So we'll begin with so we had a backup plan in case we couldn't find the keys. This person.
Yeah.
But and then
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be bad on radio. Going that worse. I was like, all right, calling up. It's like, oh, I think I know what gas station he works at. So I was calling. I was like, this guy's abusing your employees.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I made sure. I made sure we're good. But yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see him tomorrow.
I wish I could see the reaction. I gotta lie.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You got access to the security footage. You can watch him look around and.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna. The worst part is it is on a different system that is so much. It's needlessly complicated on how to get it, but I will get it.
That seems like something that you need to watch. Eat popcorn and just
Oh my god, yeah, because I would like to see him, because I guarantee you what he first did was he walked in there, he saw it, because I had it printed out with the lanyard that usually has the keys on it. I laid the lanyard down on top of the printout. He held it, looked at it, and then he went over to the manager and went, what the hell is this? And she fully agreed with me that he needed, yeah, because she was with me when he set off the owner on us. So she's like, no, more power to you. Good. I hope he squirms. So yeah, I guarantee you that he's just going over there and yeah. Oh God, I love it.
Complaint that I can kind of agree with about the immigration is like, they say we're in a housing crisis and you want to let how many more people in? Like, I get letting people that are skilled.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually talking about, you know how there's the red seal for the trades? They want to create the blue seal for medical practice. So doctors from other countries can test for the blue seal and practice here.
Yeah, because a doctor that my mom used to work for was a top level surgeon in a hospital in Egypt, and he had to work taxi for a long time to afford to put himself through medical school, and he just ended up being a family doctor because you have to start from the bottom. Yeah, so I do not agree with that at all, because it's like,
that's where it's like the blue seal. That's where it's
enough.
Like, I'm kind of happy they want to push this, because like I'm now a family doctor, like for a while now. But yeah, so, you had one, and they're leaving the country to make more money, or they're retiring.
Napanee, just because my one family member is kind of pretty high up on the city stuff. They're actually pulling together some money to offer doctors to come into Napanee because so many are leaving.
Yeah, we're just about out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they keep leaving. So now and a lot of small towns are doing that.
That's good.
They're like getting budgets in there to incentivize doctors to come, because they're like, dude, I
would be okay
any doctors.
Like if they wanted to like up the tax by like 1 or 2% just to go towards putting for family doctors in small towns and stuff like that, like.
If they guaranteed you a doctor, for sure. Yeah, if it's like, you opt in, then you definitely get a doctor.
Or just
Yeah.
something like that. Like, that's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and I'm not usually one to say more tax.
Yeah.
But, kind of shifting from the local, unless you got anything more to add or anything you want to say.
No, that's about it.
I want to quickly hop on a couple of personal things. So one's the gaming.
Yeah.
So Escape from Tarkov. I told you about the arena mode. It's
Yep.
fun. I'm not
Nope.
trying to convince you. This isn't the
All right.
cult switch. I just want to talk about it because it's something I've been playing. Just like how you got your Cyberpunk update. So
Yeah.
it is a little bit of a grind to
Yeah.
get in there because you got these different tiers. So I took the hardest path out of all of them to level up because you have these in the
Yeah.
middle, the unlocks, some really nice like assault rifles, and they only get faster firing rate and kind of better accuracy as you go. But before that, well, everyone else is running SMGs, marksman's rifles, AKs, SKS, like guns. Your
Yeah.
first gun is a 5-shot revolver shotgun. Then your
Jesus.
second one,
Okay.
thank God, is semi-auto. But then your third one is a shotgun with pump shotgun slug rounds. So long distance, they're armor piercing, and as long as you can hit them in the head, you'll
Yeah.
win. But if you hit them
Okay.
anywhere else,
Heavy
you
skill
better
base.
hope they're a terrible shot. And then I finally got to like the G36, which is that weird kind of assault rifle, the European one that kind of comes up with the rail over there. It's still regular front fed. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh.
That I finally
Yeah.
got that one, and what's cool about that is they have your iron sights up top, right? But in the middle section there of
Yeah.
underneath that rail, you get your 3 times. So you can toggle between aiming down iron sights for your up close, and then for slightly further away, you can get like that 3 times in there. Yeah.
I like that. I've always liked that in
So
games.
now that I got that, I
Never thought
went
I would
from
use it, but
having percentage wise a 0.22 kill death ratio, so 1 in 5, I got 1 kill per like 5 deaths with the shotgun. So now it's like, and
yeah.
mind you, I was at like what was it, 45 matches. I got up to 75
Yeah.
after I got that G36. I'm finally almost at like a 1.0. Just getting and I'm getting matches
There
where
we
I'm like
go.
killing like it's like 8 kills. Like I actually had an 8-0 the one match there, but it's
That's pretty
the
sweet.
arena because you don't got to worry about losing your kit. You're just like, all right, I got to level up this path. So like imagine like if you had like the cycle
Yeah.
and you had loadout's already built but there's like, okay, here's your assault rifle tree, here's your shotgun tree, here's your SMG tree, but at the end of your shotgun you get a couple variants between some really good assault rifles and some semi-auto shotguns like with the drum mags. At the end of your assault rifle
Yeah.
you get some like DMR kits or some like LMGs, and so like, and your marksmans you get some
Okay.
semi-autos and then also and bolt actions, and then it kind of goes into like the ones with just the really high calibers and so like that, like you get the different ones, so you're leveling
Yeah.
down this path as you're playing matches. At first it was kind of based off your win or loss, and they changed it to be more performance based. So it's like if you get 3 kills in a match, okay, cool. If you get 3 kills in a row, really big bump. So it rewards you in that sense.
Oh, I like that.
Like if you
Yeah.
get 3 kills in a row, you're essentially getting double experience. So you could still lose and get like
Nice.
6,000 experience. And so you're going from like your first tier to your second tier is about 25,000, right? So,
All right.
if you're playing decent, or like even if you're losing, if you're getting a handful of kills, you're gonna be there in 5 matches at the lowest, maybe 6 if you did real bad.
Yeah.
Because you're bottoming out at 3,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's like, you know, like fifth, and then sometimes you get like a split where it's like, okay, so it's 55,000 for this one, 65,000 for this tree. It splits off. You can still level up and get both, and then you choose which one to go down or whatever, or you're like, some of them don't go into another one, some of them do. They give you more options, right? So it's
Yeah.
not just a 1 to 1 to 1. It's like 1 to 2, but that second one doesn't go into the next. And then, but the first tree goes down another one, and then that one will go down to 2. That's split, and you can kind of choose whether you want the assault or the shotgun with a drum mag that's semi-auto, or you want an assault rifle with a pretty good fire rate, with some like minimalistic attachments. Like it's not all out. Like you got your holographic, but it's got that
Yeah.
fire rate and recoil reduced and everything else like that. So you generally aim around the chest and neck. They also revamped the armor. So you know how like in Call of Duty you have the plates there and your whole body from head to toe is covered in the armor effect? So what they've done
Yeah.
is, so if you have a tactical rig and your plate's only covering from like your mid pecs down low, if someone shot you in the collarbone,
Yeah.
that bullet's going through.
Oh, that's no.
But if
Okay.
but if they hit you
So
in the
super
plate,
realistic in the fact. Yeah.
there's a chance it penetrates based off the ammo type they're using.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't penetrate,
hmm
you might get some like
No damage.
vibration of like bobbing effects if you get sprayed. Like if someone's going like pistol caliber and you're wearing like a heavy duty plate, and someone like dumps like a 20 round like MP5 into you, maybe 2 of those got through and you're a little wounded, but you survive that magazine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which anywhere else would have like broke your armor and
But
eventually
they also
started
have,
hurting you.
it's not that all the armor is based off that one plate. So let's say you're wearing a tactical rig that has a full front plate, side plates, and a back plate. They all have different durability. So if you get shot a lot in the front and you start running away and they start shooting in the back, you still might get out of there. Your armor's not broke yet. All of it. Anyway. Yeah.
I like that.
So that's where it's like, I tell you, like Escape from Tarkov, it's a game by gun nuts for people that are either gun nuts or just want something that runs better than Arma. Which is usually the mill sim. But I just like the whole like not having to worry about, you know, losing gear or anything like that. It's just it's like fast food. It's instant gratification. I'm in a match, I'm in combat, I don't gotta worry about coming at the other end.
Yeah. Just like a quick little
that's where I like
hit.
the arena, and that's where I think you would like that. Your other buddy ruined it for you. I know.
Yep.
Game made him rage. Anyway. But you and me played the cycle. I think that was always a chill experience. Yeah.
Yeah, the cycle was nice. Every once in a while I was just like,
and that's all Tarkov would end up being there. But I have learned enough from that game. I have a gun nut of a coworker that I can kind of keep up, unless he's getting into like Canadian weapon attachments. But if he's just listing off a gun,
yeah, you know what he's talking about.
Like he was talking about how like the M4, the Geneva connection around that is that you're only allowed to, and the Marines are only allowed to breach the doors with that gun. And then there was this podcast where there's this interview with a Marine. It's like, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people look like doorways. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just it, right?
But with that said, I finally got my PDF for the playtest for Roku's Guide to the Yokai Realms. It's you might have seen the shorts. I
Yeah.
sent you some D&D like YouTube shorts. There's the guy that actually calls his channel
Yeah.
D&D shorts. Is like the bearded guy that wears the toque. Yeah. So he started
Okay. Yep.
making
Yep. Yep.
stuff like third-party stuff for D&D 5th edition. And so the thing he
Okay.
made was this whole more like Japanese kind of spiritual, like the yokais, the big giant elemental creatures and stuff like that, monsters. And he made it in a way to where there's a peaceful way to soothe the beast, or if your party's a murder hobo, crafting with it's like they turned D&D into like the Monster Hunter kind of thing for these Japanese spirits. Made
So
a whole combat system about traversing the monsters and stuff like that. Because one of the ones is like the
okay.
Japanese like style dragon, and so like let's say it's the giant one, and you're like walking on its back and trying to find the weak point or something. Yeah,
Oh.
and like
Okay.
special
Shit.
kind of rolls, and he made
So yeah,
combo
like
attack
where
things where it's like people like different classes and stuff like that can set up these combos with each other, combo actions,
I like that.
like implementing it to where it's like, all right, you now like the big strong barbarian now throws the rogue who has like a dagger and a rope attached that and everyone's grabbing onto the rope, and then everyone passes a check and now they're on the creature. Like it's actually written
Yeah,
in
that'd be
rather
actually
than,
nice to
DM
implement
freeballing
more
it.
in D&D. Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of DMs, and I have this written in the one for my Wednesday game. So I
Yeah.
thought my little Artificer Bloodhunter build would just be like, I'm just going to be a support. I don't do a bunch of damage. I'm almost guaranteed to do some damage each round. Because we just leveled up to level
Yeah.
6. So I'm going to have a plus 12 to hit. Right? You were rolling the D20 and
Okay.
stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
armor
Yeah.
class is like 16. Well, unless I roll lower than a 4, I'm going to hit it. Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm just using a hand crossbow, right? But what I've done is like, I get the 1d6 and then I got the Blood Hunter right damage. So all my damages also you add like a 1d4 to it. So it's like, I'm at least doing 2. I can do up to 10 damage. And I can shoot twice per
Yeah.
turn, right? So at most like 20 damage. But then he wouldn't let me do one thing with one race, so I chose just a random one, and it happened to work out. So now I'm adding, if they're within 10 feet of me, I'm adding 3 additional radiant damage. And then if my first attack, whatever it is, spell, weapon, whatever, does an additional, whatever my proficiency is, damage them. So it's like, yeah, I can cap out at 16 or for one attack, and then the other one can add an additional uh 10. But what's nice is the next level up, he doesn't even know. It's so I can take a -5, so it's a +7, so more reasonable. But I'm adding a flat 10, so now it's gonna be like the
Yeah.
36, which is gonna be my roughly damage just per round. Yeah,
That's
and
not
that's
bad
only a
at
level
all.
7
Holy.
character.
Yeah.
Right.
For a support
But the thing
character.
is though, I thought like, okay, it's gonna be a cyberpunk theme. I'm gonna need to be able to investigate things. Made my guy really smart, really good at
Yeah.
investigation. And then he always asks for perception checks, and I'm kind of just like, I don't have perception skill. And he's like,
Aw.
and because it's an artificer, you can do a lot of things that make your character tanky. Like I got a +1 breastplate. I now have 20 AC. So, and he's always complaining about how his guys can't hit me. And then sometimes their guys are just rolling right above 20 on me and nobody else. So they're constantly hitting me. But the
Okay.
thing is, though, I gave myself a
Yeah.
weakness and he's using it for sure. Because, like, every combat encounter, it feels like almost. I have a -1 to charisma, and you know how much my characters talk.
Yeah.
So to have someone that has a
Yeah.
disadvantage to talking to somebody, I thought would be funny. It's nearly killing me.
Yeah.
Because I am getting charmed
That's so
left and right and then being pitted against the team now. And what's funny is to get this new level up to level 6, level 3, Nugent, you basically become the Witcher. So you get the little tonics that you prepare. And the one that I'm
Ooh.
choosing and that I use is it permanently moves my modifier for intelligence. Or not permanently. Well, between long rests. So it may as well be permanently as long as I'm doing it once between, all that. Essentially permanent. I get an additional +3,
Yeah.
not to my modifier, but to the score of the intelligence. So I took a 17 score for intelligence. So that +3 will put me up to a 20 intelligence. So technically max, but this ability doesn't cap me. So if I
Yeah.
raise my intelligence, I can exceed the 20 threshold and just become Mega Mind.
That's yeah.
But he has knocked my character to the prone state in probably about 4 different encounters. One encounter, he knocked me down 3 times, and that was a close one. Almost killing the guy off, but he's like,
Yeah.
when he hits me, it's like, I got you. It's a, yes. Like, he's celebrating.
Oh,
Because it's
he's
just
hoping
like,
you're dead.
I am the support character that I'm like, I just want to make him like, give him good survivability and be able to help out the team. And then he's just like, you're tankier than the tank and you're doing consistent damage every round. It's like, you are too optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, but I suck at saving throws. You throw a spell at me that has a saving throw involved, unless it's dexterity. Like, if it's strength or charisma, like, you can constantly knock me prone, and I
Yeah.
can get charmed pretty easily. So,
Jesus,
I
yeah.
built in weaknesses to make it
It's
not
kind of
OP.
funny though.
Yeah,
Not
but
as
he's just like,
hard for him, but
he
still.
wants to hit me with the fancy attacks, and the fancy attacks go after the AC. And it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you rolled a
yeah,
22. I guess I'll cast shield. My AC is now 25 for this round. And he's just like, ah.
yeah.
But he's trying.
Yeah, he's trying to get you.
He's like, don't get me wrong. I like your character, but he's so hard to kill. And I'm like, why do you want to kill him if you like him? Ugh. But yeah, I wrote that down as the DM celebrating small
Yeah.
victories against me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his
Feels
whole
like
goal for the campaign.
you sat down and listened to like last session, not too bad. I didn't feel targeted. He went after the bard pretty hard. I got a breather.
Yeah.
But the 2 before that, oh, every round I had like 3 attacks
Yeah, it was
coming
all
my way.
focused on you.
He's like, why won't you die? And then charming me left and right. And he's putting in these harpy characters that all have this thing that I have to do this stupid fucking check. And and if I do the thing that gives me the extra +2 to hit and make me Mega Mind, then I'm gonna have disadvantage. It's gonna be even harder to get out of charm. And like I told him, but it was like, okay, so what's going on with your build? And I told him, it's like, yeah, that might kill you. And I'm like, oh, going to doing it anyway.
Oh yeah.
It's too late to back out now. I built this is like at level 7. It gets all online because I'm capping out around like 49 damage is my max per round. On average, I should do about 36.
Yeah.
So I should be getting my 2 flat 10s plus, the 1d6 and 1d4. So that's 20 guaranteed if I hit both, and then potentially the 40 plus the 6 from the radiant shit. So yeah, I guess 46. 49 was a little bit of an overshoot, but yeah. That's still
No,
like
it's-
2 rounds and Vickers done. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But the
God
thing
bless
is
him, but
though, if
he was
you
not.
like
He was not made for this world.
you had that deflect missile, which is kind of the cool thing is that you could roll to try and stop the missile and then throw it back and spend a key point to throw it back at the person. So if I shot you and
Yeah.
then, but then you rolled and I rolled low and you managed to get it to 0 and then you whip it back at me, re-rolling that damage
Yeah.
back at me. But yeah. Oh, I miss when you played that shit. Had a good back and forth there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. I don't know, I like the character.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was easy. All right, we should just for file size alone,
I wiped
we
my
should
computer.
probably start wrapping this up. No, I'm sure for Amherst Island Radio at least because they have like
Yeah,
the worst internet on that island.
Well, you want to take us off?
All right, so yeah, you've been doing so good, and I gotta show you up a bit. No, I'm just gonna try and do it as fast as possible. All right, thank you so much for listening to this episode of On the Rewind. We broadcast on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM, and our extended edition, apparently we're renaming that for the new year, is going to be on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're going to be there. Thank you
I'm
so much
Derek.
for listening. I'm Adam. And we just rewound.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.